Some cases disturb people because of what happened, and some disturb people because of how someone behaves afterwards. And this is one of those cases because the more I looked into this energy, the more something about the emotional presentation just didn't feel right to me. For those of you who are new here, my name is Marilyn. Welcome to Soul Power Tarot and Coaching. On this channel, we explore intuitive tarot, and we also use the Lunar to do readings about the hidden emotional and psychological energy beneath public cases, life situations, and true crime stories. And today, we're going to take a deeper intuitive look into the Caleb Flynn case and see what comes through. So I'm going to give you a quick summary here of this case. Caleb Flynn was a pastor. He was a worship pastor. He was also an American Idol contestant. He didn't make it too far through the live rounds, and he is a father of two. He's married, and during American Idol, he praised his wife, how much he loves her, and how beautiful she is, and how much she means to him. Fast forward to today, he is charged with her murder, 3 counts of murder. There are 11 counts in total, 3 counts of murder, several counts of assaults, staging a murder, intimidating witnesses, intimidating a lawyer. He's got 11 charges in total. So that's to give you a summary. And this really got a lot of attention from people on an emotional level, because how can someone like this go from where he was to getting rid of his wife, to murdering his wife? It doesn't make sense, right? It's not logical. So let's go ahead and step into the energy surrounding this case and see what comes through. Now, the first thing I want to look at here is what was emotionally happening beneath the image that Caleb Flynn was presenting publicly. Okay, so I'm going to use both of these decks. You'll see in just a minute. Oh, so what was emotionally happening beneath the image Caleb Flynn was presenting publicly? Okay, Flynn was presenting publicly. What was emotionally happening? What weren't we seeing? Okay, so here's what I'll show you. We've got the hangman, okay? When we have the hangman, like, this is telling me that this is someone who was stuck in life, right? His energy was someone who would, be in his own head and think about different scenarios and think about different plans to get ahead, but he just never did. Nothing really panned out for him, right? With the hangman, you just stuck. You try, you go around in circles in your head, you come up with new plans, but you just stay stuck. This hangman is suspended, right? And then you have the letter, the dog and the letter. He portrayed this image to help get attention. So the letter is also, it could be about written communication, could be about written media. He portrayed this message, right? He portrayed this image, I should say, for attention, to help him garner attention. But there are also texts or messages where people urged him in the background to get some type of mental health, sorry. So, because I'm going to show you this again, the dog and the letter. This is a lot of friend and messaging and going, listen, you need help, right? So he was stuck in life, stuck in his head mentally. And there were people around him who knew this, right? And they knew that he was spinning all these different stories and creating all these different personas to mask that, right? And all of them just kept falling short, right? With the hangman here. So that was the energy behind that. Now we're going to move on to the next thing that I want to look at. And that next thing is, why didn't he just walk away? Right? Why didn't he walk away? Why did he feel like he needed to take his wife's life, right? Why didn't Caleb Flynn just walk away from his wife instead of taking her life. Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. The Two of Wands. He felt like they were a team. Okay. And he had bragged about her so much online and really talked her up. And he felt like people related to him because of her, because of his kids, because he was a family man with the Two of Wands. And then you've got the Key and the Marketplace. So it seems like he needed her for certain transactions, for financial reasons, okay? Which doesn't even make sense because you take her out, even though you needed her. He needed her for transactions, for the different personas that he was playing or creating. She was important to his everyday life, to the things that he did, to she was tied up in his finances. Okay. And also what I get is he didn't want her to be with anybody else. If it wasn't with him, she was not going to be with anybody else. Okay. He was stuck. He felt like he would be stuck without her, but also their lives are so entangled. And he felt like he would probably have to pay her a lot of money that he did not have at the time as well. So only someone like him can understand what he did. But again, I'm not saying that isn't a reason to get rid of someone. You know what I mean? Relationships break up all the time. But it's because of the persona, in my opinion, that he played, and this father was obsessed with his wife and on the finances that were intertwined, that he did this. And he didn't want her to be with anyone else. So we're going to look next at the dynamic in this marriage. Okay. What was the dynamic? Okay. What was the dynamic in Caleb Clinton's marriage to his wife? What was the dynamic in Caleb Clinton's marriage to his wife? Okay. As you can see, you've got the Eight of Swords right here. This is a woman tied up in her head, scared to do anything. This tells me that he was controlling and he played mind games with her. He was manipulative. He was so much so that she was scared to, she felt stuck and she felt scared to do things without his opinion or his approval. Because that's Eight of, so you see this person tied up and scared and lost in their thoughts. And then you've got the Bear and you've got the Stork, which tells me that he was controlling. He was very controlling. And she felt stuck, right? He controlled how she moved, where she went, what she did, her every move. Okay, so this it borders on abuse. Okay, he was very controlling and kept her caged in a lot of the time. That's what this Eight of Swords is all about. So let's continue. Let's move on. The next thing, oh, and before we continue going deeper into this reading, if you'd like a personal intuitive reading with me, just like I'm doing here, you can visit soulpowertarot.com. And if you would simply like to support the channel, my PayPal information is linked in the description as well. And the website is linked below as well. Okay, so let's continue the reading. The next thing I want to know is what emotional energy surrounding the presentation or staging of this case. So why did he stage things, right? Why did he felt like he had to stage? Because it's something else I didn't mention in the brief description of this case. He staged a robbery, right? He initially told police that somebody broke in and his wife, he doesn't know if she's alive, so he staged the whole thing. And why did he stage it? That's what got him. That's what got him, because his story didn't make sense. So why did Caleb Clinton stage a robbery to cover up his wife's murder? Okay. So this is what he wanted to do. Okay, this makes sense. You've got the Queen of Swords. So she wanted out of this. She wanted out of this marriage. This is someone who wants a divorce. They want out. They've had enough. So she wanted out of this. And he wanted to make it seem, because I do remember he talked about maybe some other guy that she may have known. He brought in a lot of random stuff that really made the police curious. So she wanted out. he didn't want to let her out. You see, you've got the ring and you've got this man. And what he was trying to do is he was trying to make it seem like she has a connection to the person who burglarized the house. So he was trying to create a story, a narrative that someone that she's connected to, that she wants to leave him for, now burglarized their house and is stealing, is not a good person, right? You got the ring and the man here. It's because he wanted to show that he was this devoted husband and he was the perfect husband and she was the bad person, right? And she was dealing with bad people, except his story unraveled before he could finish telling the story. So yeah, what the Queen of Justice tells me, she wanted out. This is someone who is single. If they're in a relationship, they wanted to work. Like, she wanted out. This is what all this is about. And someone asked me that why it's crazy how he chose murder over divorce or jail over divorce. It is. They were telling me and asking me why I thought that is. But anyway, I thought I'd kind of share that with you guys. I still have a few things I want to look at. What are people sensing right now? Okay. What are people sensing about this case right now? What are people sensing about this case right now? Oh, just what we talked about. Just like the other two cards. So you got the Eight of Cups here, the Home, and so the Eight of Cups is someone wanting to walk away. I do see that I do feel strong that she wanted out of this. Okay, this is what she wanted out of this. People are sensing that she wanted out of this marriage. She wanted to separate from him. The House and the Tower is about separating from him. And he just wasn't going to have it, right? He wasn't going to let her go, move on, and leave him alone and go be with someone else. Because he was so controlling, abusive towards her that she wanted out. And he took her life for that reason. Even though knowing full well he's got 2 children that depend on their mother because his children are young. And he didn't care. It was all about him. It was all about him and how to make him look and what is he going to do. And he didn't want her to be with anybody else. It's really crazy how he went from where he was a worshiping pastor to an entertainer on American Idol, and then to someone who's now accused of murder and a felon. And he's still has his case. It kept being delayed. His case will be in September is when his trial starts. I want to look at one final thing. Okay, I want to look at the final energy here. The future energy. What's going to happen with his case? Because I really hope that this lady gets justice. Right? She deserves justice. So, what unresolved energy still surrounds this case moving forward? So what unresolved energy still surrounds this case moving forward? What unresolved energy still surrounds this case moving forward? Yeah, the Ten of Cups is a happy family, right? And they seem like they were a happy family. I don't think this lady really told anyone because she was scared. How did they go from being this happy family to what we know now? You have got this incense burner and the fox. So it's like they were playing this happy family, but there was a lot of stuff going on in the background, right? So he, more than she did, pretending that it was this perfect family. Look at this husband and wife and 2 kids, right? He used it as a front, but in behind the scenes, there was lots and lots of manipulation and controlling and all that going on. He was really manipulating the public, manipulating her, just really being grimy. And I think that what's left unresolved is what really was happening behind the scenes between them, and how did they go from what he was portraying to where he is now. What I will say about the Ten of Cups, though, and these two, this is also things coming to light about him and other grimy activities that he was trying to hide. And it's also about him having to face what he did, right? Having to face justice. And to be honest, I really don't think that he is getting out of jail anytime soon. There will be justice for this lady. And these kids were going to need so much help and so much therapy. I hope they're surrounded by the right people, and because they'll need it. That's the only person I feel sorry for. This the kids and their mother's family. He obviously is a selfish, you know what, and didn't care about his own kids. And that's what's sad in all this. So I appreciate all of you for being here. And this is one of those cases where the emotional energy feels heavier the deeper you go into it. And honestly, I think people are reacting to more than just the allegations themselves. I think people are reacting to the emotional contradictions surrounding the entire situation. Thank you for being here with me for this reading. If you'd like to support the channel or book a personal reading, everything is linked below. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoy deep, intuitive, true crime analysis like this. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.